The Curse of Strahd.
So your shield is laid out, and you can feel the pounding of all these wolves pushing up. It's either their nose, you can hear scraping and clawing, and it just kind of jolts.
Well, I guess we're putting that dwarves' craftsmanship to work there, Boren.
Hey, watch this! And Boren opens the edges of the shield, and there's little hooks that go, and they kind of like clamp along the wood. Because Boren keeps pulling out things that
I've noticed that.
he hasn't seen. All right, Ireena, make the children stand back. Wendle, get on here, push down with all your strength.
All right, so Boren just get down together and just like lying on it with all of our strength.
Wow, okay. They hit the shield, and it kind of cocks a little to the left. It just makes a little crack open, and there's almost like a 6-inch little crack to the side now where they're sticking their noses up through, and they're feeling pretty good about this.
I want to cast a cloud of daggers. Wendle says to Boren, Boren, what? Let me just look through the crack here, just so I can
crazy!
See. And he sticks his hand out, and some of that black shadowy particles come out, and he focuses on this one point where he can see just about a couple feet down the ladder where the sort of congregation of the wolves are starting to like pile up on top of each other, I guess. Is that what I'm seeing? Mm-hmm. Wolves like sort of just like clawing up the ladder.
Exactly.
I'm going to center in this location a 5-foot cube of daggers just going. It's called Cloud of Daggers. So daggers, black daggers, just going to start daggering around. Just daggering. They're going to take 64.
Wow.
So I'm casting it at 3rd level.
Okay. You want to roll for it?
Yeah. 17 damage to anyone who is in that sphere. That
5
cube.
by 5 foot.
Yeah.
So these daggers just come down, and they're hitting them on their sides. There's a couple of them that are like really close up to this ladder, and they're just getting pelted. And the one that's closest to you, just nipping away, all of a sudden loses footing as it's getting pelted, and he falls onto 3 more beneath it. Now there's just like this pile. They're kind of writhing on the bottom, and you can just see them through this little crack at this point as you watch them fall. What do you want to do?
Boren stands up, and he just stands on the shield now, and he's prepping his weapon. I don't want to attack or anything. Just all right. Whatever you did, boy, it seemed to be working.
They're about 10 feet down now. They've fallen off the ladder.
All right.
When
Boren grabs a ladder and pulls it up the hole.
Do a strength roll.
19 plus 5 is 24.
Oh my god.
Get out of my way!
Whoa, Boren! Jeez.
Kind of elbows, no, he shoulders him, right? Because he's shorter, so he shoulders his hip aside. Wendle
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stumbles backwards. And he just sticks his armored gauntlet into the hole, rips the ladder up, doesn't even pull it up, he flings it up.
And it kind of falls to the ground. You can still see over this enclosure, you can see them, these little bits of ladder fall upon the wolves, and they're kind of, the ones that are semi with it are like snapping at them. And you can just see this empty square right now.
All right, and I close the door that was there before, right? And I put my shield back on, and I just stand on it again. And we just listen. All right, ready yourself. We don't know how high they can jump, or if they can climb walls.
What sort of super wolves are these? Ireena, how you doing?
Oh, I don't know what to think anymore. I can feel Strahd's presence.
You can you?
Wendle goes up to the kids, and he looks like really scary because his beard's all wiry, and he's huffing and puffing, and he's really scared. He's got blood all over him. He's like, hey, how you kids doing? You okay? Are you okay? And he gets right into the little girl's face.
So Ireena kind of knows your
I mean well, but it's kind of
style
funny.
at this point. No, she just covers their eyes and like shelters them, like kind of like mother hens them. With her
Okay,
arms
I'm just seeing if everyone's all right.
Don't worry. I
think we got this under control.
Leave the kids to me.
We took care of the ladder situation.
Okay, but you don't know what you look like.
All right.
Okay?
And Wendle starts kind of looking around with his hands on his hips. Yeah, I think we got this. He's a little nervous.
Ireena, can you sense Strahd in the vicinity now? Is he around us?
Just as you say that, you hear a clapping that seems to be coming out of nowhere. Very impressive. But you shouldn't touch what doesn't belong to you.
What the fuck is going on right now? Do you hear that, Boren?
I do. This is Strahd, isn't it? Can you hear me?
And nothing.
Ireena, did you hear that?
She's shaking.
I think she did.
Calm yourself. Calm yourself, girl.
Boren, what do we have against a guy who can send wolves talk to us in our minds?
You're right.
It's like he's the god of this place that we're in.
He is, but you said it, boy. This place is all about games. He's trying to rile us up. We stay calm. We wait till these wolves. We fought these wolves before. They're the werewolves.
Wendell's still kind of pacing around the room.
Right. Everyone calm yourselves. We won't be here for long. He's just a presence. We know this. Just take it easy. And you know that part in, like, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds? Where they're just in the house. It's that one long shot and they're just listening to the birds. They're kind of just waiting this out. I think Boren, they're all just standing there. Wendell's ready. Boren's ready. They're all just agreed.
Okay, so 30 seconds passes. You still hear some ruffling and scraping. A few more minutes pass. It's really just eerie silence.
Right.
You can still see the moon coming through the cracks and the stars, and it's a little misty out, but
Boren slowly goes to one of the cracks in the wall and just puts his eye to see what he can see out. Just out, if he can see anything. I mean, they're pretty high, right? So he's not going to be able to see much, and it's covered in mist, and it's
Yeah,
nighttime.
I'll join him. I'm going to try to look and just see what's around us.
you can just see over these plains, very, very far into the distance.
Okay.
And it's just eerie and quiet, but really well lit up.
You see anything, Boren?
I can't see anything.
Silhouetted by the moon, a couple ravens fly by,
Just
squawking.
those bloody ravens.
As Wendell's watching this, he starts taking a piss on one of the nests.
Well,
Yeah, damn.
children
nest.
here.
I'm turning my back. I had to go. I'm not showing anything.
It's best for all of us to stay as quiet as we can. Let's make sure we don't make any sudden movements.
What do you think, Boren? We, kind of coast as clear situation or what?
Why don't you use that hand of yours? We can crack open the door leading downstairs, and I don't know, maybe your hand can go searching around or something.
Well, I can't see through my hand,
No,
Boren. Tell you what, I'm gonna go. I'll send it out, and it goes and grabs the door and lifts it up. And I'm assuming I'm gonna try to communicate with you that you go by the door, getting ready.
Okay, yeah. So I sort of shuffle towards it. I can only imagine this upstairs, we're at the very top, where it's a small.
Yeah,
There's got to be like.
15 by 15.
Yeah.
maybe,
Okay.
something like that.
So I open
So
it
I
up.
just kind of
10 by
move
10.
over, take out my axe.
You can still see there's a couple wolves down there.
Do they notice, or have we been quiet?
They do not notice. They don't even appear to be moving.
Boren looks down the hole. He looks at Wendell, and he holds up 2 fingers. He points down, and then he puts his finger over his lip. He grips his axe. You guys ready for this? Boren jumps down with his axe over his head. He's gonna jump down and just fucking chop one of these wolves in half.
Okay.
Oh my God! So Wendell just watches you jump and just disappear down this trap door.
Yeah.
Just sees this heavy armored dwarf go.
I should have mentioned, like, you guys have been awake for a long time. Roll to hit.
17.
That is a hit.
Fucking ready for this?
Yes, yes.
Is an 8 plus 7. That's my. That's a 15. Into this unsuspecting werewolf.
Amazing. You hit it. It lets out this huge howl. You start to hear howls in the distance. Tens of them, 20 of them, hundreds of them. You hear like lots and lots of loud sounds. The one next to it's going to wake up. Roll initiative.
Wendell rolled a 23.
13.
Okay, that's a 17 for the wolves.
Fuck! Wendell!
What? You good?
No!
Ah,
You know what I did!
shit! I run towards the door.
Come on! And I swing my axe again. I swing it around my hand. I swing at the other one. And this is my extra attack.
Yep.
Oh! 8. Well, that's still a 8.
Nice. So what's the total?
28 with these 2 attacks.
Oh, it's yelping. It is really, really badly damaged.
I give it one extra little kick.
So Wendle yells down, Boren! Boren, what's going on?
I need your help, boy! Conjure up something!
They're going to take a swipe at Boren first.
What's going on down there?
Hey!
That's 16 and 12. That's a miss.
They both go.
Yeah, go ahead. You got an action.
Okay, I'm gonna. What do I see when I look down, directly down from the trapdoor?
You see Boren kind of in the middle of these 2 wolves, and you hear more wolves coming.
Oh, shit! So I guess what I'm gonna do is,
Whatever you're doing, do it quick!
what does a room around me look like? Could I fasten a rope to something?
Well, yeah, in the middle of this whole
there's that,
windmill is like the actual mill.
And so Wendell goes, oh, pull out my rope, and I tie it around the thing really quickly, and I just throw it down the trapdoor, and maybe it hits Boren.
Hits me on the
Throws
head.
down.
That's not helping! Is it my turn?
So it's your turn. Yeah, go ahead.
And he goes, and he spits on the wolf that he attacked. And then, for his action, he just scurries up. Real quick.
We'll give you a couple opportunity attacks for these guys. They're nipping at you.
Oh, Boren, they're gonna nip at you!
That's all right. Fuck them! Excuse my language, children!
And they're all misses.
Oh, wow.
They're all pathetic straps.
Boren keeps scrambling up.
Lucky. Yeah. So pull the rope up.
So it's 10 feet. I got a 25 on my feet. I can move 25 feet, but this is 10 feet.
Yeah, so it'll be half speed, but
Okay,
you're,
but now,
you're up there in one.
now
you're-
we're 10 feet
You're
up.
up there in one turn.
We're 10 feet up. The wolves can't get us. So I'm just gonna take, I guess, a free action and just start Eldritch blasting.
You hit the damaged one, and it incinerates. The second one yelps as it gets hit a couple times, and it retreats back down.
I gotta ask this. Is Eldritch Blast just a continuous fire burst?
No, it kind of powers up like a Hyrukin blast.
Yeah.
And then it lets out a beam, and the beam lasts for like, a second.
Right.
Like a and then I build it up again.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. The two crackling beams.
I'll show you what
whatever
it's
they call
like.
them.
Here, I'll show you.
Yeah.
So
Or it's
Wendell
like
kinda does it.
hopping. He's actually really...
Best part about this trick, and
Yeah.
again, I have no idea where I'm getting these
Right, I mean,
powers
this
from,
video-
but this one is real nifty because
I see that.
think
You put your wrist
I think
together.
I've heard about this before. I think they're
What's that?
called can trips. You must know about this.
Ah, yes, scan trips.
Yeah, so I can do this as many times as I want. Watch
you're
it. Watch
lucky.
this.
All
I'll
right.
build it up. Yeah, Hyrukin style.
Yep. Oh!
Yeah, and so those are like sort of, but it's also like Wolverine. If you're like, does it hurt? And I go, every time.
Oh, yeah. It's
You know?
very poetic.
It feels like it's burning my hands,
Yeah.
but then there's no scar damage.
Right.
Right.
I'm fine.
Wow. That is
What's
impressive.
Ireena and the kids doing when we're doing this?
They're just completely tapped out. The kids are frightened. They're exhausted.
Children, I'm sorry. This is all my doing. I should have let them be. I felt like I had advantage on the situation, but I obviously read it wrong. My apologies.
Boren,
Aye.
I think we're all pretty tired. And from what I can gather,
Aye.
I think we're safe up here as long as we keep this door shut and you don't do any more of those wild moves.
All right. Boren looks down the hole. What does he see?
It's pretty quiet. You just see the one burning. Well, it's not burning anymore, but you just see the one injured wolf and nothing coming up the stairs. You can hear some scuffling, but
So as Wendell's going to shut the door, and as he's doing so, Boren, I gotta say,
Aye.
you really are a brave little guy.
Well,
For a
little
short
guy.
little fella,
No.
for a little tiny dude,
Aye.
you really pack a punch.
You know, I've got to say, I've been surrounded by short, little people my entire life.
Yeah, figured.
You're
right?
the weird one to me, my friend. You're a bit too tall. Your center of gravity is all off.
Yeah, but
Your balance. What do you use for balance, boy? Your legs are too skinny. What do you eat? Where's your girth?
Ireena, kids, get this. This is adorable.
Look,
Ireena's giving you dirty looks and like covering the kids' ears.
Wait, Ireena,
Shh. Don't bother. The woman and they're tired, all right?
I just want to know whose side she's on.
This is like a fantasy version of Grumpy Old Men with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. There's these two old farts yelling. No, I think what you're saying is that normally your perception of shorter people is that we can't do these things. That these
Boren,
are out of the ordinary.
Just relax, man. I'm
I'm
just
sorry,
busting some balls.
I'm a bit wound up, if you can't tell.
We've been through quite a bit. I love taking down those hags.
Yeah, I love it. And they just fucking, they clasp hands like in Predator.
All right, let's.
All right, children.
Wendell's just gonna lean up against the wall, put his head down, start snoring. He's sleeping.
And BB walks up and kind of curls up next to you as well.
Okay.
Boren still, he's got a bit of adrenaline in him, so.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sort of sit, and he sits cross-legged, and he takes out this notepad from his utility belt, and a little piece of charcoal, and he starts sketching. He starts sketching Wendle as he's passed out, slumped against the wall, and he starts sketching little children. And also just listening.
Yeah, you don't hear much. It's quiet, but there is kind of a uneasiness in the air.
Okay.
You guys are gonna go for a rest?
We're going to take a long rest. I think we want to take a long rest.
Okay. Okay. So, we've asked Chris to leave the room. Wendell, while you're sleeping, you start having a very intense dream.
Okay.
A dream where you find yourself suspended in the deepest, darkest depths of an ocean, surrounded by what looks like a school of black, shadowy, eel-like entities surrounding yourself. And you feel yourself slowly suffocating, trying to swipe these things off of you. And it's almost like in slow motion because you are underwater. You feel absolutely powerless.
Whoa.
In desperation, you look towards any sign of light or something that you could swim towards. And instead, you find yourself completely disoriented. You don't know which direction is which. And you're just surrounded in this deep blue ocean for miles. While you're fighting for your life, the intensity builds. This black mass of these eels are swarming your whole body. They're kind of passing through you. This swarm of these black eels are completely surrounding you. And as soon as they close in, you panic. And this is when you wake up. And you wake up drenched in a cold, ice-cold sweat. So everyone's asleep, passed out cold. And it is morning time. Things are getting a little lighter.
Chris is now back in the room.
Yes, Chris is now back in the room.
And
And you've all of a sudden you've actually awoken to Wendell jutting himself.
Wendell's waking up.
Wendell, come down. Come down. Come down. You're right.
Oh, they're getting me.
No, you're safe. Quiet, friend.
He is sweating, drenched.
You're right.
Oh, and Wendell just sort of
You're right.
breathes for a while and looks around. Takes a second to even know where he is. Oh,
We're safe.
he sort of just sits up, leans his back against the wall. He goes, oh, Boren,
Hey.
you ever have one of those nightmares that feel a little, just a little too real?
Hey. Well, don't worry. You're awake now.
Yeah, but something was different about this one. Can't really explain it, but
I can't see it being any more dangerous than the danger we're in right now.
right. Suppose you're right.
Boren gives him a morning wink. All right. And goes over, he checks on Ireena and the kids.
They're just stretching and...
Morning.
Good morning, Boren.
You're right.
I feel much better.
Good. Children, how are you? I know you've gone through a lot. No.
Ireena's gonna take us back, right? You'll take us back?
That's right. Ireena, I think it's best
I know you said we needed to go to Vallaki. Perhaps these kids should come to Vallaki with us. We could find them shelter there. I don't know what the safest route is, to tell you the truth. I didn't expect this to happen.
And Ireena says, I think we should take the kids back to the village of Barovia. We must return them to their parents.
Wendle kind of gets up a little bit. He's been petting BB. Ireena, can I talk to you for a second?
Of course.
So I pull Ireena aside and I say, I reckon that Vallaki, if this is a more sophisticated settlement, these kids very well might find a better living there. Because the village of Barovia, oh shit, that was some bad vibes there, Ireena.
You're from there.
We can kind of kill two ravens with one stone if we all go to the same place.
Why don't you roll persuasion? Let's
Okay.
see.
And Wendle rolls a, with my persuasion modifier, that is a 19.
We found a young boy who was being pulled away from his family by the matriarch of this triad.
All right. All right.
Morgantha was her name.
Okay.
These parents probably gave away these kids.
Oh my god.
It's true.
Right. Well, we'll go to Vallaki then.
All right, that was pretty easy. Hey,
Yeah,
kids,
very
and I put
persuasive.
my hands down on my knees. How would you like to go to Vallaki?
Oh, you got bad morning breath, Wendle. You gotta stand back.
Just need a little bit of moss.
Fair enough.
A morning moss session.
Boren goes, is there any food around? Is there any food up here? Any, like...
Nothing in the attic. There's some pastries downstairs.
I don't want to eat those pastries.
Maybe there's some of the pastries that don't have the kids in them yet. Oh, shit, that don't have the kids in them yet.
Ireena?
No,
What is he?
you can't just say it loud and then say
is
it
he-
quiet.
You know,
Change the word. Nothing. He meant kiss. Kiss in them. Any kiss in
Any
them
kiss?
when you make good food.
They might be old
Oh.
enough to face the truth.
No,
Maybe we
he-
should tell them.
No, not at all. Look,
Ireena's giving you dirty looks again.
Me or Boren?
You.
Okay.
you're the dirty old man.
Uh,
My word. Get your shit together.
Wendell's a little. He's a bit hurt. He didn't realize he was being rude or anything.
Look, Wendell, you still got that rope?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Why don't you climb down there and see what there is to eat with no kisses in them?
Okay. Yeah. I got it. Sorry about that, everyone.
It's all right.
I had a nightmare last night.
All right, just find some food.
It's a little rattled.
Find some food.
Okay. So Wendell opens up the door and he kind of is a little nervous still. He sees the corpse of the wolf
Oh yeah. You kind of step on it a little bit.
and then the other ashed wolf from my Eldritch Blast. Yeah, I climb down the rope. I climb down the rope and I go down there.
You climb down the rope. You don't really hear much anymore at this point as mornings come, and you're on the 3rd floor.
I'm going to look around, unless something stops me, I'm going to just look around the whole mill for ingredients that don't look like child meat.
Yeah.
Well,
If they make pastries, they have to make the dough and stuff.
Yeah.
There's got to be eggs and flour and bread and stuff around.
They got to have
right?
some of that pre-made.
Yeah, right?
right. Okay.
Can I roll
so
for it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do investigation.
Nature check, investigation?
I rolled a 9.
There's still chickens there that are like stuck in a coop.
Okay, so I go and I grab one of the chickens,
Mm-hmm.
take my axe, like my hatchet.
Your bloody hatchet, I should say.
Yeah, and that's bloody.
Oh yeah.
And I go, what's a little more? And I chop the head off of the chicken.
You do fell swoop.
I want to try to cook it somehow really quick. Maybe
There's a
with
wood oven here.
some- Okay.
Do you want to like feather it, and so you start feathering it? You're a farmer. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my mage hand to help. Third hand.
Nice. You get it kind of cooking rotisserie style.
Awesome.
Yeah, I get it cooking in the
The
oven.
smell wafts up, and Boren
yeah.
and the children, Ireena, we all come down.
Wendell! My word! Good find, my friend.
Yeah, there was a chicken down there, so
Ah, fantastic.
I cut its fucking head off and started cooking it up.
Children here, this is a
I
fantastic.
leaned forward and I said it like under my breath.
Yeah, no, but they still, I mean, it's within earshot. Come on. This is great, though. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Everyone, I'd like to apologize for my behavior before, and I'd like to offer this meal of good old Southern food
Well,
as
apology
a peace offering, you know?
Fantastic.
I'm not so crass of a guy after all, am I? As I'm handing out these pieces of
Thank
chicken.
you very much. This is
And
good.
you can
Boren
find
goes
some-
to the front door and he looks out. I just want to peer outside, look, and then close the door. Sort of while they're eating, I make sure it's safe and I kind of move some boxes around, pull it in. Mm-hmm. So I want to propose this, that we spend this kind of morning, maybe 30, 45 minutes eating this chicken, going,
Now, to look over this tome we found.
And Wendell gets a chill that comes over him as soon as he brings that up, because it's like going from a good vibe for just a moment back to reality and this impending doom that he's feeling. The tome.
So Ireena's going to go and play with the dog and the kids.
So separated from Ireena and the kids and the dog, we sort of finish off our morning chicken and
Now, from what I remember, this was the very first piece of the puzzle. A tome. Some sort of history of the ancients.
you tell me, man, Madame Eva filled your head with a lot.
Aye. All right.
Boren pulls over. This is like an old book, I guess, so it has like pages and
Oh, yeah.
old Barovian writing or something, you know?
What's it read?
I am the ancient. I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past. I was the warrior. I was good and just. I thundered across the land like the wrath of a just god. But the war years and the killing years wore down my soul as the wind wears stone into sand. The hand of a soldier.
I think this has got to be Strahd.
It's got to be Strahd. He's seen battles.
So he was a soldier, okay. He thinks he was hot shit before.
All goodness slipped from my life. I found my youth and my strength gone. My army settled in the valley of Barovia. He was a general of an entire bloody army.
Well, it stands to reason. He's a god now.
That's right. But with none of God's grace or justice, I called for my family, long unseated from their ancient thrones, and brought them here, to the castle Ravenloft.
Right, Castle Ravenloft. We've seen that.
We've seen that in the
we've seen that in
moonlight.
the distance.
They came with a younger brother of mine, Sergei. He was handsome and youthful. I hated him for both.
The jealousy.
Sergei.
Boren flips the page.
There's more. From the families of the valley, one spirit shone above all others, a rare beauty who was called perfection, joy, and treasure. Her name was Tatiana.
Wait. That's who Strahd's after. So, yeah, we know this. Strahd is in love with Tatiana. He thinks Ireena is Tatiana.
That's right. I longed for her to be mine. I loved her with all my heart for her youth, for her joy. She spurned me. Old One was my name to her.
Oh, ouch.
Elder and brother also. Her heart went to Sergei.
Oh, no.
They were betrothed. The date was set. Oh, my word.
Let me see that.
Here, there's more.
With words, she calls me brother. Oh, man, that's the worst. That's even worse than the friend zone.
Especially when you're in love with the person.
But when I looked into her eyes, they reflected another name. Death. It was the death of the aged that she saw in me. She loved her youth and enjoyed it, but I had squandered mine. The death she saw in me turned her from me, and so I came to hate death. My death. My hate is very strong. I would not be called death so soon. I made a pact with Vol, a pact of blood. On the day of the wedding, I killed Sergei, my brother. My pact was sealed with his blood, his divinity. I found Tatiana weeping in the garden east of the chapel. She fled from me. She would not let me explain, and a great anger swelled within me. She had to understand the pact I made for her, so I pursued her. Finally, in despair, she flung herself from the walls of Ravenloft, and I watched everything I ever wanted fall from my grasp forever.
By Borodin's beard.
It was 1,000 feet through the mists. No trace of her was ever found. Not even I know her final fate. Arrows from the castle guards pierced me to my soul, but I did not die, nor did I live. I became undead forever.
Wendle, I hate to say this, but Strahd is like you.
What do you mean?
He's been cursed. He holds a curse in him that keeps him alive.
How could you be so...
I
You're
don't
blind,
need-
Boren. You don't even see that you're the one who's like Strahd.
No.
He killed his sibling.
That's interesting. I did not go there at all. I just thought he had a curse. You know, he talks about this thing, Vol, that cursed him. He can't die. It's like you.
I feel like I can die, Boren. I've been injured before.
you have a curse
You didn't
that
bring me
keeps-
back fighting Morgantha.
This is heavy information. I don't feel like this is a weapon that we can hold, but like a weapon that we can use.
All this is doing is just stacking the odds against us, Boren. Why can't we just go home? I just kind of want... I don't have many years left, you know?
Fine. You want to go home? There's the door. All right? We've been through this. We've got to keep going. You're right. I'm scared too, brother. I'm scared to death. I've never been this frightened before in my life. I fought in Ettins with one hand. But this place scares me beyond belief. Believe me, there's nothing more I want to do than get home. But to do that, we have to hit these places to make sure we free this land and get home safe. For if we don't, we might as well be dead.
This is sort of like half hitting Wendle, because it's making him think about what his situation is. He's wrestling with being defeated, or if there's something left for him. He's just sort of scared about stuff. He doesn't want to do any more suffering. So he's torn between a rage that drives him towards Strahd as a sort of way of confronting the darkest dilemma in front of him, because maybe it stands to reason that that's
feels
how he
like-
could lift his curse.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense.
But another part of him is seeing just how dire all these situations have been and how close to death he's been, and he's scared of it. Like, it's sort of... He doesn't have the same sort of brave... He's constantly just watching you do all these brave things, and he's just, like, scared about the pain of going through it.
Boren goes like this.
Wendle, my friend, if you feel that unsafe, then I want you to ride Zoltan to the borders of the mist where we came in.
And Boren reaches in his bag and he pulls out that potion of transport.
And take this. If you want to go home that badly, then I'll help you.
Wendle takes the potion, and he sort of steps away from Boren a bit, and he looks at it.
And Boren doesn't seem smug or anything. He doesn't want to come across like sarcastic, but he wants to be very sincere and go, look,
Wendell's going to walk out of the room. I'm going to go outside and take a look around.
Well, it's about 9 a.m.
Morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just sort of find a spot looking over from any sort of high ground.
The whole place is kind of on a high ground, but you can find like a little hilly. There's a hill with a tree on it.
Whatever a
There's some
nice
rocks.
view is, just take a look.
So you walk out to the ledge You can look out across the plains. As you're doing this, Ireena is throwing a stick, and BB's running and getting it, and the kids are actually smiling and having a good time. And they're laughing. And just as she brings it back to him and throws it back out again, you hear this like loud whistle. And all of a sudden, BB darts towards this whistle, and the kids chase after him. He disappears into this mist, and you hear a yelp. What do you want to do?
I sit up from where I was sort of like just kind of sitting on a little stoop. I was very relaxed, and I've just sort of darted up right now, start jogging towards this sound, and then running.
Ireena can see that you're dashing towards it. She's starting to freak out, I should say. And you make it within one turn of being able to catch up to this forest where this mist is. And as you expend your dash, the two kids also disappear into the mist.
They disappear into the mist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the thick mist that we have not yet encountered, really.
That's
we haven't
right.
really fucked with. All right, I shout, Boren!
Hey!
Kind of hear his voice muffled through the tower.
Right.
And I go and I get as close as I can to the entry point of which they entered into the forest and mist. I investigate.
So you're just on the cusp of it. You can almost stick your hand out, and the hand, even as you extend it 1 or 2 feet, it becomes completely obscured. It is very, very, very thick. You're just kind of standing in front of like a wall of mist, basically.
I start calling for BB. BB! BB!
You hear silence.
Come on, BB, come on back. Don't go into the mist there, BB, come on!
You hear nothing from BB, but you can hear the screams of children.
What is it? Where are the children? The dog?
Boren, we haven't gone in the mist yet, and BB went in there, and the kids went in there.
Ireena
Ireena,
walks up. And,
you were supposed to watch them, Ireena.
I was. Something called them into the mist. I can feel his presence. It's Strahd. Don't go into that mist.
What? Boren, are we ready for this? Like, are we fighting Strahd right now? What's going on?
Oh my god.
We don't know what's happening in that mist.
Freak! Myrtle!
BB's in there. Boren, what do we do?
We're told not to go in the mist, but the children are in there.
We have the potion. What do we do? Do we need to just what? Drizzle this on ourselves? We drink it? What?
It's a potion of transport. It's going to take you somewhere else. Not into the mist.
Yeah, but those kids don't have the potion. We're running out of time.
Put your hand in there. See if your magic hand can reach in.
I dash my hand in, and it just dashes out as fast as you've seen the mage hand leave the shadow of my hand. It disappears into the mist, and I start feeling around. Whatever sense I get from it, from where it is in proximity, I'm examining what that is.
You feel almost like it's not an electric shock, but you feel you almost feel like a paralysis or something. It just feels.
Boren.
Hey.
It's not exactly like an electric shock,
Hey.
but it's
What's
kind
it
of
feel
like
like?
Paralysis.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Your whole hand has gone numb.
The whole mage hand is numb. Actually, you know what? My real hand is
Your
numb.
real hand is numb, yeah.
Yeah.
The mage hand is not coming back.
Look,
it's gone.
numb. Totally numb. I'm shaking the hand around. We gotta figure out what to do. Let's just go in. BB's in there.
This pains me to say this, but those children are lost in the mist. If that did that to your materialized hand, imagine what it's going to do to us the moment we step in there.
Wendle takes the potion, and he takes let's say he takes 1/8 of a swig out of it,
Yeah.
and then hands it to Boren, and then walks into the mist. I take 5 confident strides.
Now you're starting to feel you're completely blind. Make a Constitution saving throw.
It's a 13 Constitution check.
Okay, so you're now going to suffer 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay,
And
what
as
does
you're
that mean?
It means, well, there's 6 stages of exhaustion. The first one would mean that you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay.
So at this point, you are looking around.
Whoa.
If you turn to the right, you can't even tell which way is which. You're like completely lost. Your grounding is gone. Your internal compass is gone, and you are starting to feel this mist like a pull on the inside of your lungs. And you're looking, for BB, for anything. It almost sounds like you're underwater right now. You're not hearing much of. It's almost it's like a silence. It's just a drone that you're hearing.
Boren.
And Boren, you don't hear anything.
Boren yells in.
Wendle!
You can hear very mute, very, very silent, like a.
I can.
You can, yeah.
Okay, well, I move towards that.
Boren, you can see a little bit in the mist, some sort of movement. Someone, it looks, you're pretty certain it's Wendle, but he can't seem
Wendle,
to.
keep coming!
I take my shield and I kind of find the light that I can and I kind of flash it so it makes like, a reflection on the shield. So he can does he see that through the mist? Does he see any sort of muted light kind of, you know what I mean?
You can't see much of anything. You can barely hear and you can barely see.
Boren does not want to go into these mists. I follow the rules.
Okay,
He was
so
told not
what
to.
do I see?
Roll. You don't see anything right now. You're just.
I yell, Boren, keep shouting! As hard as I can.
Make another Constitution roll. Another turn's gone by.
That is a 19 Constitution.
That is a fail. So now you are on second level exhaustion. Your speed is halved right now.
Okay, so I'm kind of dropping. I drop to my knee a bit. Whoa! And I yell with as much gusto as I can. Keep shouting, Boren!
Do I hear anything?
You can kind of see like a shadowy figure in front of you, not too far.
Boren's sweating his fucking balls off just looking into this mist. Nothing. This might be a bit too meta. Nothing's happening to him. He drank that potion. Nothing happened to him. He went in.
You can't notice anything.
Wendle! I can see you! Can you see me?
Roll a d20. See what you get for perception. I'll give you a 15. No. Well, maybe. No, your wisdom's not that high. Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Where I did hear the sound before, am I still facing that direction? Naturally? Because he didn't move? I'm going to throw, with as much strength as I have, my rope as hard as I can in that direction.
So you throw your rope out, and Boren, you do see a rope kind of come out of the mist, kind of unraveled by your feet.
Oh my god, I run to it and I pull as hard as I can.
You're holding onto it. Obviously, that's your plan.
Yeah.
You are plucked out of the mist, but you do one more roll before you make it out.
That's probably a fail if the last one was.
It's another fail. So you're level 3 exhaustion.
What does that
Technically.
mean, technically?
It means your speed is halved. You have disadvantage on ability checks. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. Yeah, you're very close to dead. You're not doing very well, and that's
Boren, I'm not doing very well.
Yeah, okay.
You basically,
And I don't need to get technical about it. But
I'm not doing. I love he's all
he is
beaten up, but he's still the same.
He's down on his knees now. He's like hacking out clouds and a little bit of blood.
I'm like,
out of his
oh,
lungs.
don't talk.
Boren, my
Okay, I
skin
wanna-
is bleeding.
Don't talk.
I'm lifting up my arm and I'm just looking at what my arm looks like. Boren, my arm looks fucked up.
Look, you gotta calm down. I know
Boren,
you're in
I'm
shock
about to
right
die.
now. I
I'm
know
about
you're in
to
shock
die,
right now. You
Boren.
gotta lay down. Ireena, go get me some water.
It's okay,
Lay down,
Boren.
just lay down, lay
Boren.
down.
She runs to
Takes
get
out
you
his
some water.
leather.
Boren, it's been really fun being on an adventure with you.
Yes.
Now, I can die and there'll be no more curse to worry about.
You're not gonna die, friend.
Oh, it's okay.
Not today.
And Wendell's kind of like giving in here. Like he's trying to make himself die. He's holding his breath.
And when Boren warms up his hands, and he does lay on hands on him. Just lay on hands.
As Wendle feels that happening, he's trying to push Boren's hands off of him.
No, let me. Wendell.
Wendle bursts out crying. And he starts crying like really... He's a sobbing mess. And he gives into his exhaustion, and he closes his eyes and just lets all of his muscles go limp.
And just like that, Wendell is out like a light, but his chest is moving.
And Boren gets up. And he silently nods, and he just walks around. I just go and walk back into the mill to meet Ireena. And leave Wendell. So Boren's inside, and he's packing everything. He's got the chickens.
He's calming Ireena, who's just lost it over the missing children. She's just crying her eyes out. The kids are gone.
Boren's like, there is nothing you could do. There's nothing you could have done.
She's inconsolable.
Ireena, I am sorry.
Strahd,
Yes,
so sick.
my lady. There was nothing you could do. Those children are lost to us.
There's nothing any of us can do. That's what I'm starting to feel.
I understand your pain, and I'm sorry to insist. But we must start packing, getting ready to go. Wendell is exhausted. He needs some rest.
I think we should just strap him up on the boar and we gotta get him out of here.
No,
Well, what?
you're right.
Strahd knows where we are.
I think that's what we shall do.
So Boren sort of confidently starts to conjure. He uses Find Steed, and he conjures Zoltan.
Sultan comes back up, yeah. He's wagging his tail. He's in a great mood, you know,
right.
just like, when I was a young warthog. He's just full Disney. Everything's happy.
And then what I want to do is pick Wendell up. I can only assume he's just out. He's a passed out body.
Yeah, he's a cold fish.
Okay, we just pick him up. So I just and then lift him onto the saddle. And I'm, a little dwarf, but I'm strong, so it takes me an
you were
extra.
very strong.
So I put him up, and we make sure that he's sitting sort of slumped against Ireena, so she can
Like Weekend at Bernie's style?
100%. So she can kind of cradle him. So Boren pulls down this extra stirrup that he has at the side of the saddle.
Yeah.
Pulls it down. And he's always pulling things out, right? Like he's got all these hidden
I know.
things.
He's almost like a Batman kind of.
And then he goes,
Hey, Ireena, watch this.
Boren likes his gadgets too. He's kind of like a dad that likes buying a whole bunch of gadgets and showing them off.
Okay.
Ireena, watch this.
The very bottom of the saddle, he just reaches in between the Zoltan's fur and the saddle, and he pulls this little thing out and extends it and folds it out. It's like a little stirrup. He just places his foot on it, grabs this part of the saddle.
All right, boy, let's go.
You plotted out where you wanted to go.
That's right. So
Boren
we're
is
following the
taking lead.
road,
You're
this
following the
Phalage road. And they're sort of keeping to the edge of the forest as they go north, circling around, just watching the mists within these forests.
Okay. So after a few hours travel, you hook around these woods. And as you trudge along the old Sphalic road, the surrounding trees begin to recede. The path forward widens. And the fog on the horizon slowly dissipates, revealing your first glimpse of the city of Vallaki. A place that's much more than a city to you. It's a destiny of hope, a beacon of light, a place of respite, of escape, protection from Strahd, and really just the biggest symbol of hope you've come across ever since you set foot in these dreadful lands. And it's also where we conclude Act 1 of the Curse of Strahd.